Brady, we'll start with you. Saskatchewan's run defense is the best in the league. What do they do differently, and what do you need to do more of in order to have success against them?
They're stout up front. They got a great defensive line, great linebackers, and then you can talk about their defense as a whole. They just create turnovers in the back end. They got great defensive backs. What do I have to do? I'm going to continue to be who I am. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to continue to be who I've been every single game this entire season. Consistent, physical, and going out there and honoring my teammates.
Zach, turnovers, interceptions specifically for you have completely dried up since Labor Day. What do you attribute that to?
You always put a emphasis on not turning the football over. Obviously, I think some of it can be attributed to just better familiarity with the guys. Just more reps with each other. Playing teams multiple times, understanding what they're trying to do to you defensively. Again, not forcing the football. Really doing a better job of playing complementary football, which is what we always strive to do here. All those things probably factor in, but I think it really starts with the offensive line and how well they've been playing, and again the receivers and Brady, him being an outlet for me, him picking up a blitzer and giving me an extra tick there to throw the ball downfield. It's always the offense as a whole, so I can't really point to one particular thing, but there's obviously a couple factors there.
You and Trevor, the oldest starting quarterbacks in the league right now. And look, it doesn't always work out that way.
Me, though.
He is. It doesn't always work out that way, but is there something to the fact that guys with your level of experience are playing as well as they are now and in the games now?
I'm not surprised about how well Trevor's doing. I've known him for a long time and understand how much he loves this game and the work that he puts into it, whether it's physically or mentally. So it's not a surprise. I think it's a cool thing. Again, we both love this game, have known each other for a long time, love the CFL game specifically and study it, with a lot of passion. So it's great for both of us, obviously. I'm sure he would do the same thing and deflect the question, kind of like I am, and praise me. But I'm happy for him. He's a great player. He has been for a long time, and I'm not surprised at how much success he's had this season because he's had it for his entire career.
Jared, go ahead.
Zach, as you look at the season, are you surprised that your scrambling has been as big an impact as it has been this year?
I think it's been more. I've had to scramble to run a little more than scramble to pass, which is obviously what you'd want to do and create explosive that way. I think teams play a bit differently than they have in previous seasons. You're seeing more variations of match coverage. 4 down rushes, 3 down rushes, and linebackers really dropping to depth. So those things all factor in. I used to be athletic, so.
I was going to say young legs.
That's surprising.
Young legs. Brady, for you, rushing yards, receiving yards, are they all yards or are they different, do you feel?
They're all yards. However you can contribute, to the team's success. There's different ways to win games, right? Whether we're going to run the ball or if I'm going to have to be an outlet for Zach and get some yak in the receiving game, right? So they're all yards, and I think they all contribute to a team's success.
And if I could just ask both of you guys, your favorite part of a playoff game at home?
The fans. It's the best part about hosting a playoff game. You got that the home crowd behind your back, on your side, and it's not just any home crowd. It's Winnipeg Blue Bombers, diehard Bomber fans that are going to be at Princess Auto Stadium, and it's going to be a sold-out crowd, and it's exciting, and I'm just ready to go.
For me, it's the I talked to Ed a little about this the other day on your podcast, Ed. Saw we had some views on there. I think it's the hour leading up to the game. After warm-ups have begun, we kind of all get together after the stretch, and then we kind of filter out into our position groups. But the atmosphere in the stadium, the way the lights hit the field, we usually have about 8,000 to 10,000 people already in there. That's when the adrenaline, at least for me, starts kicking in, and that's probably my favorite time.
John, go ahead.
Thanks for doing this, guys. Brady, you're a Winnipeg guy. Zach, former Rider. There's obviously a heated rivalry between these two teams. You could argue it's been ratcheted up a little bit, some of the hits on both sides from early on in the year. I'm curious, as the game gets closer, does that, as a player, does that rivalry feel stronger? Does it burn harder, or does that fade away as the moment arrives? Take us through that feeling.
For me, at least, I can only speak for myself. I think after that first snap, usually all that stuff's out the window. You're kind of facing a faceless opponent, so to speak, and you really got to clue into your preparation. What's the down distance? What part of the field are we on? What do they like to play in these situations? What's the play call? What's my job here to execute the play call? So those storylines and things like that are exciting leading up to it, for sure, for the fans and all that. But after that first snap, usually, at least for myself, it's who are we playing again, and they like to play this coverage in this situation, and how do they play this set, and et cetera, et cetera. So for me, it's usually handled that way.
Yeah, obviously a great rival. Has been the greatest sports rival ever, I would say. With two very passionate fan bases, right? So, but I just to echo what Zach said. I think leading up to the game, it's who you're playing, and it's it's going to be a physical game every single time you play the Riders. But I think after that first play, it's like, okay, like Zach was saying, you're playing now, and you just got to go out there, whatever play's called, execute at the highest of your ability. So. It is a great rival, though, and I love it. I live for these games, and I absolutely love playing the Riders, whether it's a regular season game or now a playoff game. It's going to be hype.
Similar question for both of you guys. Obviously, you're both superstars in this community. I know you're probably geared in for the game, but grocery store, post office, anything like that, has there been a different buzz from fans if you've had any of those interactions this week? Obviously, it's the Riders. I'm sure the locals they got high expectations this week.
Yeah, so this market here in Winnipeg, they show us so much love and support, whether it's a preseason game or regular season game or a playoff game. Just an amazing support we get, such an amazing fan base. But I'll share a little story. I received a message today. I'm an ambassador for Dream Factory, the charity here in Winnipeg, and I've been doing quite a few things with them throughout the course of the season. So I got a message from the manager there, and she wanted to send me a couple of videos from the kids. They wanted to send me a good luck message for me and the boys. So I received a bunch of videos from a bunch of the Dream kids this morning, and it made my day, made my week. And those are we're so much more than just football players, right? There's so much more to us, and we can make such a lasting impact. And my time with Dream Factory this year, I'm noticing that I'm making a lasting impact, not only on these kids' lives, but the families as well. But they're also inspiring me and making an impact on me. So me receiving those videos, so yeah, the support we're getting it from even kids as well. They're pumped up and fired up for the West Final.
I mean, for me, one of my favorite things about playing here, and similar to my experience in Saskatchewan, is the community is heavily involved with the team, and they really love their team. And whether it's the grocery store or picking up my kids from one of their activities, you become friends with a lot of the people here, and they say hello. I think it was Ed, you said it, or maybe Paul one time. It's like a little big town, right? And obviously we're on TV sometimes. Sometimes the people see our face more often, and if they see you, they say hello. And I really enjoy that. Spend a lot of the off season living somewhere else, and you don't know a lot of people, right? So that's a bit different. But I really enjoy that aspect of playing here in Winnipeg. Love the community that we're a part of, and just very grateful for them.
Paul, please.
At this stage of the year, the talent level's pretty even probably, and you guys seem evenly matched. So I'll ask each of you, what the biggest thing your team has going for it, you think, this weekend?
Biggest thing, I think, and everybody would say it about their team, I'd imagine, but I think just our love for each other, the belief in each other, the belief in what our plan is. And that's it. And understand that we're going to go out there and lay it on the line for each other. Mm-hmm. I think, it's not always great systems. It's not always great players. It's great teams that win games like this. Obviously, Saskatchewan has a great team, a bunch of great players, and I really enjoy watching their offense, and I really enjoy watching their defense when we're not playing them. But it comes down to the best team, and I think the guys in our locker room, to a man, would say the same thing. It's our love for each other and belief in what we're doing.
Yeah, I'll say what we got going. I think, you hear it echoed throughout the course of the season is, that word honor, right? Going out there and honoring one another. Honor your brother with your play, right? And just exactly what Zach said. It's at this time of year, everyone's pretty much evenly matched. Everyone's playing their best ball at the end of the season. But what's that edge for you? And I think for us, it's how close we are in that locker room with one another. Very tight knit, and we go out there and honor each other with our play every single week, right? And I think that's our edge leading up into this game.
What's been harder, getting to the top or staying at the top?
I think staying at the top. Everyone wants to knock you off, right? Every single week. So, we know every single week through the course of this season that we're going to get everyone's best. Because everyone wants to knock us off. Everyone's probably sick and tired of seeing us, hosting this West Final. But here we are again, right? So it's just having that attitude every single day, coming into work, trying to be the most consistent player you can be week in and week out, and having that high level of focus and physicality and intensity on game day. And I think that's what we got in this locker room, and this is why we're where we are today.
You get that sense too, Zach? People are sick of seeing Winnipeg at Grey Cup?
I don't know about that. Obviously, we haven't finished the way that we wanted to finish the last 2 seasons. So there's that. I think what makes this game great and what makes any job great is you're kind of competing against yourself every day to one up your preparation and those kind of things. So I think that's what is the most fun about it is you can't rest on your laurels. Obviously, again, we haven't finished the way we wanted to finish the last 2 seasons, so I wouldn't say we're on the top of anything, but we gotta. It's been a really fun ride because the expectations are high in that locker room for each other. Individually, the expectations are high for ourselves, right? So that's what makes it fun, and bringing that all together to try to to win the whole thing.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go Judy, and then Christina, and then Jeff. Go ahead.
Only if you guys win this game, it's going to be 5 consecutive trips to the Grey Cup. Only like 3 teams have ever done that, and Hamilton and Saskatchewan and then Edmonton 6 way back in the late 70s. I mean, I'll start with Brady. As a Winnipegger, how proud would you feel to accomplish that and join that?
Yeah, it'd obviously be something pretty special, right? Obviously, big game tomorrow that we really got to focus on, and we got to get through the Riders first to even start talking about that, right? So focus is obviously tomorrow, handling business, and then we can talk about that, and then I'm sure I'll have a different answer for you. Yeah.
And Zach, anything?
I'd have to echo a similar sentiment there that Brady did, but I think historically all those things are pretty cool, and it's a testament to the guys, again, the locker room, the coaches, the organization, starting from the top of trying to put the pieces together to give us the best opportunity to win games. And I don't want to completely ignore your question. It's been a really special ride for sure, and historically speaking, that's really cool. But tomorrow's the focus, and like Brady said, if it goes our way, then we can have that conversation with you.
How much more special has getting to this point meant when you look at the way that you guys started, and injuries to Dalton and Adam too? Do you this feels a little bit more special because you've had more adversity?
Yeah, we faced a ton of adversity early on, and obviously the way we started 0-4 and then 2-6, there's lots of tough times and trials and tribulations that we had to face early on, and I think we did a good job of embracing those hard times and staying close to one another, believing in one another, and just continuing this grind. The only way I know how to get over adversity is by attacking it head on, face on, and embracing those tough times, and that's how you get over those hurdles. So I think that's exactly what we did early on in the season, and I think it is like Zach was saying, it's been a very special ride, but I think this year in particular, the way we started and now where we are now, it's been special. But obviously, we got to handle business tomorrow. But yeah, what we went through early on was no one probably thought we'd be here, and it's just a testament to our coaches and the guys we have in that locker room of how we approach every single day, even in those tough times, to get where we want to be.
Yeah, to me, it's always special, and that's what makes it so. It's hard to win, and that's what makes it so special when you win, and that's what makes it so difficult. When you reach the final one or when things don't go your way. So it's always difficult, but it's always special.
Christina, go ahead.
Brady, looking back at the last 2 Western Finals, obviously you personally had a lot of success. What is it about the playoffs that kind of allows you to maybe turn your game up a notch?
Yeah, I think you want to try and play the most consistently that you can through a course of a season, and obviously I take pride in being consistent every single week. But I think when you're looking at the playoffs, right, those are big games, right? And I think, big time players got to show up in those big games. So, I take pride in those, big games of you got to show up even more. What can you do more to elevate your game and elevate your standard of play in these big games to get to the ultimate end goal? So, I'm ready to go. Another West Final.
Jeff, to wrap us up.
I was just curious what a Jake Thomas curling classic, annual curling classic.
It's a lot of fun.
Is. Yeah,
It's a lot of fun, yeah.
More fun. Okay. I wanted to know about if you do have to push the ball downfield. It looked like you were trending that direction in the final game of the regular season. I want to ask you how confident you are. Of course, you're confident, but what are the challenges with that secondary? You look across the board, much like your defense.
Yep.
It seems like not a lot of safe places.
It's challenging if they get you into a game like that. Obviously, I think what they do up front is really really tough to play against. They like Brady was saying earlier, they're front four, and they're dressing 8 tomorrow, and all those guys can play at a high level. So they make it difficult for you. They do a great job of pushing the pocket, play it at an extremely high level of effort. Every single one of them. If you watch the tape, it's something that definitely sticks out. They do a good job of mixing up their zones. When they do play man, it's a man where they're trying to funnel you into Thurman and Avery, and they do a great job of that and understanding how to pass off crossers. I just think they're really well coached. They have tremendous team speed, and I think I would imagine they hang their hat on pursuit, and that's an important thing on defense, and that's probably why they generate turnovers at a high level, whether it's stripping a football, intercepting a tip pass. They have a really, really good group of players, a smart group of players, and again, their front four is outstanding up front.
Gentlemen, thank you.